Hey guys, Toby here from Had the Fitness. Alright, so what I want to talk about today is how often do you have to work out? So this is a question that I get asked a lot and a lot of people really want to know. So there's a lot of emerging evidence come of late, probably in the last 2 years, that supports frequency. More so spending more time in the gym, working out more is directly related to muscle growth. And the governing factor on that, so like what determines that is your volume, like how much actual weight you're moving over a week period. So you add up all your workouts on said muscle group, times it by the sets, the weight, the reps, and then you times that by the week. So setups down there. So that's basically how we work out our volume. So to apply the principles of progressive overload to get stronger and build more muscle, because you have to push yourself outside your comfort zone and you have to put a new stimulus on your body. So what you're doing 1 week, you have to just basically add a little bit extra, like maybe an extra 50 to 250 kilos. So that over a week's period, if you're doing chest 2 to 3 times a week, is maybe only like a few more reps per session. So there's 3 ways you can do this. So you can either increase the frequency of your workouts, increase the intensity, or increase the reps or sets, okay? So with those 3, you're basically applying progressive overload and you're doing a little bit more than you did the week before. The whole point of this is your body's going to adapt to that new stimulus. You're carrying out more volume, more sets, more reps, you're moving more weight, you need to back the weight down and do more reps. So basically the point is to increase the volume, so therefore you're going to increase more you're going to increase the anabolic response to build more muscle, and then this is going to happen over the process of 24 to 72 hours post-exercise, depending on how hard you've worked out. So basically with volume and intensity, it's either one or the other. So you're really working out really heavy and you're doing lower reps and maybe 3 to 5 sets, or you're doing lots of reps and a lower end of sets. So it's either one or the other. And the way that we manage like neural fatigue, delayed muscle soreness, and just fatigue in general, like joint pain, like everyone's had it that's been to the gym. Like you can't walk the next day after you do legs, like the first time you go to the gym. That's delayed muscle soreness. Stretch them, damage them, and that 24 to 72 hour period after the anaerobic exercise is the actual healing process. That's the anabolic window, so to speak, of where your muscles will actually grow and repair. So the way we manage fatigue and central nervous system fatigue, so that delayed muscle soreness and that psychology of being really tired and not want to go in the gym, is frequency. So this formula here is basically the said protocol on the way you should be training just to increase muscle mass, okay? So 40 to 72 repetitions per session per muscle group, and then 2 to 3 times a week per body part, okay? So with this comes in the form of periodization, basically how you set your program up with your intensity, frequency, and volume. So the way we set all those 3 up is basically just like doing a legs push-pull or a push-pull leg. So basically a push, a pulling, and then a leg session. Or you can do upper body, lower body sessions, or you can do full body 3 times a week. You basically just try and meet that said protocol with your program. So full body, generally you do 3 days a week, maybe 4, and with upper body, lower body, you can do 4. You can do 2 days, 4 days, or 6 days. You're just going to make sure you have required breaks. Basically, you can regulate those breaks when you want. Generally, after the second or third day, you want to have maybe a day off, or you can push through to 6 and then have, say, you can train Monday to Saturday and then have a Sunday off. But it really just depends on you. Personally, I'll burn out after that 4th day, so I'll do Monday, Tuesday, have a Wednesday off, and then I'll train the Thursday, Friday. So that's basically my workout routine. So how often do you have to work out? So this study here basically just shows a bro workout working each muscle group once a week compared to doing a full body program and working out each muscle group a few times a week is substantially better. So that in itself just shows that working out more often is better. So do you have to be in the gym 6 days a week? No, okay? So the regulating factor on this is volume. So you could do Monday, Wednesday, Friday on a full body workout and do, say, 2 exercises per muscle group. So you can maybe do for your legs, you could do squats and deadlifts. You could do for your upper body, you could do a bench press and shoulder press, because primarily they're both hitting the chest, the biceps, the triceps, the lateral deltoid head, and the anterior. And if you're throwing a pulling motion there, you'll hit basically all the back muscles, your rhomboid, your upper traps, your lower trapezius muscles, basically everything in that posterior chain. It really depends on what you're doing. But if you're doing, say, 3 sets per muscle group on each exercise, so if you're doing 6 sets on each muscle group, so legs, 6 sets of deadlifts, 3 sets of deadlifts, 3 sets of squats, and you're doing that 3 days a week, and you might do a heavy day Monday, a light day Wednesday, a heavy day Friday, you're just regulating how hard you work out based on how you feel, you're going to induce some serious growth, because you're meeting the said protocols. So that protocol there, the formula that I put up, that's basically working on the more of the higher dosage on what your body can handle before you induce overtraining symptoms. So I'll put it this way. So if you're currently working out each muscle group once a week, I would drop currently what you're doing, back the volume off on each session. So say you're doing back and you're doing like 3 to 5 exercises, back that off and split that over 3 days and break the body up, but bigger body groups, because especially when you do compound exercises, like if you're doing squats, you're going to work your quads, you're going to work your calf muscles, you're going to work your posterior chain, as well as you're going to work your core mildly. So it's more of a full body exercise. So you're going to have that overlap of muscles. So if you're going in and you're doing giant sets on biceps every second or third day, that's going to affect your rowing, your pull-ups. It's going to affect all those workouts even. So it's going to affect that push, pull, and press overhead motions if you're doing like isolated work just to grow those. So you got to understand that each muscle gets used on the exercises. They mightn't be the primary muscle, but they are secondary movers to that exercise. So there is that overlap. So I'd focus on the compound exercises first, like the squats, the deadlift, the bench, the overhead press, the bent over row. Focus on those first, like those movements, and then do 2 sets, maybe if a drop set or a giant set on the lateral raises. So if you're doing like cable flies, tricep push downs, or you're doing bicep curls, like whatever it is, like those small motions that aren't as taxing, and even calf raises, I would do that for 2 to 3 sets. Don't overdo it, because you have to understand that it's going to impede on how much volume you can carry out in your next session. So you can go a little bit harder if you're training Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but if you're training 6 days a week, I would break it up, even just do 1 set and do that every single session. So that's 6 sets you're going to get over a week, and you're going to put more actually into that workout, because you're going to remember you're going to be fresh the next day. Even though it's 1 set and you're not theoretically getting the pump, you don't have to have delayed muscle soreness or feel fatigue in said muscle group to know that you've actually induced some sort of stimulus for it to grow. Though you still want to be close to fail when you finish the exercise, but not at fail all the time. So you can go to fail sometimes and stay away from fail. So play in the range of both, but go to where you feel comfortable. There's no point doing like 5 kilogram bicep curls if you can bicep curl like 20 kilos for more than a few reps. So like just be smart about your workouts. Work out smarter, not harder. So I'm just going to wrap this up here. So what you need to do is look at your reps times sets times the weight, and how often you're working out a week, and manage your frequency around your lifestyle. So don't let the gym rule your lifestyle like you're working out rule the lifestyle. It's very important, but you have to understand sometimes it's not practical at the gym. You might have family, you might have occasions you have to meet, or deadlines of work, or whatever it is. So the more flexible you are with your workouts, as long as you're getting in at least 3 workouts a week, you're pretty much good to go. And like you put an emphasis on the compound lifts, getting in a little bit of accessory work and working on the weaker parts of your physique. So personally for me, it's my upper chest, my deltoids, and my calf muscles. So they're my weaker points. I put more of an emphasis on each session to work those out for a few sets. So predominantly they're going to get more volume, more work done, and they're going to grow. And because it's more so isolation exercises, they're not going to be generally that fatigued. It's not really going to hinder my lifting too much and my actual progress. Working out 6 days a week isn't any better than working out 3 days a week. It really depends on the setup of your program, so your periodization, whether you're doing like said programs like before, so the upper body, lower body, the legs push pull, or the full body, or you're doing maybe German volume training or CrossFit, or whatever you're doing. You have to understand, you have to sort of track your lifting, your intensity and your volume, and how often you're doing that. So 2 to 3 times a week, 40 to 70 reps, probably no more than like 120 repetitions a week on each muscle group. So you can either up the weight, down the reps, or you can down the weight and up the repetitions. Have light days, have heavy days, mix it up, make your workouts different. So maybe start on incline press as opposed to flat bench press, maybe start on shoulder press, maybe even start on weighted chin-ups or even squats or deadlifts. You don't always have to follow your program to the T. Mix it up and work on those lagging muscle groups, okay? So that's pretty much it from me, guys. If you have any questions or anything like that, leave them below. Make sure you like and subscribe and share with your friends. I'd really appreciate that. Have a good day.